we played some good shows there. In Little Rock, we played.
Yeah.
And
You played a show in Little Rock?
Yeah.
Why?
Huh?
Wow.
Did you say?
I said why, but
Oh, why?
wow.
Because
It's so far. Like,
you
where
have
you
to
drove
go
from?
when you're touring. You have to play
When you're
in
touring.
cheap towns, and you gotta play in good towns. And
Oh
you
my
know,
gosh.
sometimes the towns you think are gonna be bad are good, and the ones you think are gonna be good are bad.
It was. I mean,
You know.
I don't know. I never liked the idea of touring until you were like had a following or something, or
Well,
sold a bunch of records
you
or
have to
something.
tour to get the following.
Well, I mean, you know, it's one thing to like, you know, play shows or whatever, right? Say like, you know, you book a show and you can get play every once in a while or whatever, but like, I kind of feel like I wouldn't try and drive across the country just winging it, hoping that someone would eventually come along and be like, I really love your band, let me sign you up, or I don't even know how that works really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it depends on what route you want to go, how how you want to try to make it, or whatever you're trying to do.
Well, I mean, I know, but I guess kind of what I'm saying is, it's just hard to go to bounce from like, you know, city to city on nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and nobody knows you, and everyone's hearing you for the first time, and there's like no following really. There's no music on, you know, that's like had any kind of sales or traction or...
Ladies, how's it going? Dan Frampton here, and I'm sorry to say that it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for Victory Records. It was more so decades of drama and lawsuits. If this cute little bulldog over here was associated with your act, you were one of the cool bands in the scene. You were in the top 8 of everybody on MySpace. You were getting shows, you were getting promoted, you were getting your video seen. Everybody loved you, you were overnight famous if you got signed to Victory Records. But it came at a downfall, okay? And that one major downfall would be, I don't know, they didn't pay their artists. And most people at the time knew how shady and greedy the founder of this company was. His name was Tony Brummel or whatever, started in '89, didn't really pick up heat until '99, but nobody really knew how deep it went. So they were still willing to...
Well, that's why, you know, you start little by little. You start playing around your town, and then start playing around your state.
Right.
And you do that a lot. And then you start expanding, and then you go to the state next door. And then you do that for a while, and then you go to the next state. And then you kind of do it little by little. And I mean, that's kind of like what we were doing. And so then when we started going back to these towns, we were building a following, and people had our CD, and people knew our songs.
Well, but...
And we saw that coming to like fruition or whatever, where you start hitting the places.
Well, you know what, though, granted, this is a long time ago that we're talking about with your experience, right?
Yeah.
So, like, the internet wasn't exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know, you can put together a product and just put it out there, and like the entire world could know it immediately.
Yeah.
And you can have like 1 billion followers immediately.
Oh, sure, yeah,
you know,
of course.
without touring or doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, so like you don't even need to leave your house.
Well, but things are different now.
Well, I mean, it wasn't much different then. It's just we weren't taking advantage. Nobody was really taking that much advantage of it, except for professionals at the time. You know, nobody really was making. There's more homemade stars on YouTube now than ever before, right? So.
Yeah.
And I sweated and I sang and I sweated and I sang and I ate tacos out of the back of my car while my friends were all getting promoted in high-paying jobs as investment bankers. And I did that for years, tour after tour. And I'm using the word tour lightly here. Like, there weren't people at my shows. Like nobody came. I had no fans. On a good night, there were a couple stragglers who wanted in off the street, but I was playing empty bars. It was so hard to reach people. So you can imagine how excited I was when a friend sent me a video of a guy named David Choi singing with a guitar in front of his webcam on a new website called YouTube. And this video had like 300,000 views or something like that. I couldn't believe it. David was reaching people. This phase of the internet had the potential to solve a fundamental problem for me as an artist. I felt like I had to jump in, and I did. I immediately started uploading videos to YouTube. Back then, no one else was showing the at-home recording process, so I just filmed myself playing instruments, and then I layered them in the video with split screens so people could see all the musical elements coming together to form a song. And it's funny because in 2023, this idea seems totally obvious, but nobody was doing that back then. It wasn't a fancy recording studio with millions of dollars equipment. It was a bedroom with an M-Box audio interface and a cheap version of a laptop recording software called Pro Tools LE and an old Sony Handycam that I lugged around with me everywhere that shot on high-8 tapes and a bed comforter hung on the wall to dampen the sound and broken cymbals that a fan sent me in the mail for free. But I was making real music. I was screaming my fucking guts out and playing accordion and doing collabs with friends, and it started working. People started watching my videos and listening to my music. I was reaching people. My videos started getting thousands of views. It wasn't millions of people at first, but it was so much better than playing empty bars. So I kept doing it. And by 2009, I had made 43 YouTube videos of my songs, and I was feeling amazing because for the first time in my life, I was actually reaching people with my work. Okay, but the real beauty of this new website called YouTube, the most amazing thing about it was that it had a subscribe button.